Hello my friend, today I'm going to teach you about compound interest and how it can change your life. But I'm not talking about financial compound interest here, putting money into an investment account and watching it accrue over years and years. No, I want to talk about the compound interest of the actions and the habits that you do on a day-to-day basis and how that can impact in your life. You see, who we are as people, where we're at in life, is simply the compounding effect of our habits over time. You look at a professional athlete and they're in great shape. It's because of the habits that they do on a day-to-day basis. They exercise daily, they look after their diet, their nutrition is dialed in. You look at an obese person, oftentimes the reason for that is because their daily habits don't look like the athlete. They don't exercise, they eat a lot of junk food, more food than they need. Their nutrition just isn't balanced. And their lifestyle and their life as a result is because of that daily accruing of habits. So how can we apply this principle to our lives to make sure that we end up at the better end of the scale? Well, this principle, the 1% rule, comes from Atomic Habits by James Clear. Very good book that I recommend that you read. And in that he details how if we can just become 1% better every day, a very small incremental change done consistently over time, what that actually equates to, how we see that change in our life. So I want to run through that with you today just to show you the maths behind it and explain how building those small little changes into your daily life can actually add up to some huge changes in the long term, some compound interest. So if we start off at day one, at base level, 0, and we said, well, let's take, for example, our health. We want to get 1% better in our health every day. So we're looking at doing some more exercise, our nutrition, our diet, etc. If we do a small daily habit, to get that 1% better, maybe we go for a run every day or a walk every day. We do that for 10 days, plus 10, and we get to day 11. The compounding effect of that from our original standpoint will be 10% better in just 10 days. To get to 50% better, we can add another 31 days. So by day 42 of doing those consistent habits, we're up to a 50% increase, a 50% benefit over where we started. And this just keeps growing and growing and growing. By day 71, we're twice as good at that thing as we were when we started. You can take this for anything. It doesn't just have to be exercise. It could be making YouTube videos, for example. You spend a little bit of time, 5 minutes a day, working on your communication skills, your presentation skills, your cinematography, the way you set up videos, your ideas behind it, scripting, anything like that. You make those small incremental changes day by day. From day 1 when you start to day 71 down here, you will be twice as good as when you started. That's pretty impressive, isn't it? And you see, we follow this through over time. Day 112, we're 3 times better. Day 163, 5 times better. By day 233, so most of the way through a year of doing something, you will be 10 times better than when you started. 10 times better. That's pretty crazy. Now I'm probably around here with making YouTube videos, and I would say from my personal experience, I feel like I am 10 times better than when I started. You know, when I started making YouTube videos, I wasn't very confident on camera. I struggled to come up with good video ideas. Oftentimes I would have to do multiple takes of videos. And over that time, just doing consistently, getting 1% better at it every day, I'm now in this position. You know, I'm still not particularly professional at YouTube. I still make mistakes. I still have to re-record videos. Sometimes I struggle for ideas, but I would definitely say that I've come a very long way. I would say I am 10 times better than when I started. And you see, this magic just carries on compounding. And if we work up to day 464, So this is another 230 odd days after our initial one. That 10x becomes a 100x. And I just want to put that into monetary terms so that you understand this journey that we've been on. If you imagine that the habit that you do, that 1% better every day, was applied to money, this would be where it would get you. So we start off on day one with £1 or $1. By the time we've done this initial day 233 and got our 10x, would be £100. But let's say we then repeat that. We do the extra to get to the 100 times, and we'd take that £100 and make it worth 10,000. Pretty big jump, isn't it? That 10xing. But let's say we did it again and take this 10,000 becomes 1,000,000. Put that in terms of your health or your general well-being. Those little habits that you do daily, perhaps it's reading, you want to increase your knowledge by 1% per day. Well, if you do that consistently every single day for 233 days to get your 10x, and then another 233, and then another 233, so pretty much 2 and a bit years, right? You'll be 100 times better off than you were when you started. Pretty incredible, isn't it? The power of compounding. And to me, putting it into those monetary terms really shows me how, to start with it, progress feels really slow. £1 to £100 or $1 to $100. It doesn't seem like that much, does it? That increase isn't a huge amount. But by the time you're into the second cycle of it repeating and taking 100 to 10k, well, that feels pretty impressive, doesn't it? Never mind the time you get to the third one, the third time round of doing this, and suddenly, wow, we've taken 10,000 and turned it into 1,000,000. Imagine this in every aspect of your life, your body, your physique, your mind, your knowledge, your emotions and your heart, how you deal with people and situations, your communication, your spiritual health, your relationship with God. Imagine all of those things getting 100 times better in the next, say, 3 years. Let's say, maybe you miss a few days, it takes you 3 years to do that, but you could be 100 times better in all of those areas. That's pretty incredible, isn't it? So this is really just to encourage you, because I see it as making the small little changes every day. It's manageable, it's sustainable, it's something that you can stick at for the long term. You don't need to turn your life around overnight. Just do the small little daily habits that build up, and over time you will take that £1 and turn it into 1,000,000. It's the power of compound interest. I'll leave you with this quote from Albert Einstein himself. Compound interest is the 8th wonder of the world. And compound interest doesn't just apply to money, as we've seen today. It applies to our habits, our day-to-day practices and actions that we take. If you want some more guidance and more information on what it is that you should be doing to get 1% better every day in your physical health, your mental health, your spiritual health, your emotional health, then check out the links in the description and they'll help you out. Thanks ever so much for watching. Until next time, take care. God bless.